So we would welcome another question.
I have a question.
Yes.
In my constant studying, I come across concepts sometimes that I don't have a total understanding of it. And of late, I wonder if you could speak to the 8 levels of awareness as it relates to creation, the concept of density in those levels, light and energy.
How many hours do you have?
I kind of thought it was going to be a big one. But if you can synthesize for me to add to my understanding, I would love that.
We would like to say that from our perspective, there are not just 8 levels of creation. We understand that it is necessary as a human being to define and place things into categories and into slots, and to be able to hold them, dimensions must be defined, levels of creation must be defined, and so forth, and we understand that. But first of all, from your higher self and from the angelic and God's perspective, there are infinite levels of creation. And the reason is that every single thing, every single cell, every single being is a level of creation, is creating its own reality. Your reality and the reality of the person next to you is another level of creation. And every cell within your body is experiencing a different reality and level of creation. And you have already, as a co-creator, as a being, as an I am God, the ability, in a sense, to flow back into the level of creation of the God cell, which your human cannot hold. It is a limited shell. Even the human, although it can become a divine template, if it is a 3rd dimensional, 4th dimensional, or even 5th dimensional body, is not God, is not God. So if you were going to drop your 3rd dimensional self and drop your 4th dimensional self and come into your 5th dimensional self, as many are trying to do with this 2012, you're still not God. You're still not everywhere all at once. So there are many, many levels, infinite number of levels of creation. And the reason that is important to say, the reason that matters, and we bother to even say it, is because you have already stepped out of truth in the 8 levels of creation. In a sense, you've limited by your human experience what truth is or creative energy is, which is unlimited and continually shifting and changing and reforming and forming, and is always moving forward, always in flux and always in change. But in the perspective that humans have, what they tend to do is they like to make levels of consciousness or creation and so forth, so that they understand or have a way to relate to or define where it is that they're operating from. Where it is they're operating from. It helps them to understand. And by this we mean, you say, I am at a 3rd dimensional level of creation. You understand that you're in separation consciousness, that you're believing that this chair is solid, when it is not. There's nothing solid about this chair. There's nothing solid about this human or this floor or anything. But you are in a level of consciousness or creation that is believing in this density and creating duality, creating a sense of separation and duality. And when you move from that level and you move into another level of creation, which you are feeling comfortable, most of you calling a 4th dimensional level of creation, you don't take your body with you. Your body is not there. Your consciousness is embodied, creating without a body. So you are a ghost or you are a dream. When you dream, you're 4th dimensional. And when you create in realms that are not so solid, but still earthbound, which are part of this astral level of creation, You are fourth dimensional but not in body. So it helps you to understand where you are, what you're creating from. You can still create fear in a fourth dimensional level. You can still create fear. It doesn't need to be embodied. You don't need a body to be afraid. All you need is a thought to be afraid. So a thought is a fourth dimensional thing which makes you afraid, but you're still in the lower astral, third and fourth. So what you are trying to do as an ascending being is going to a fifth dimensional level of creation, in a sense. You're trying to get to a place where you step out of duality. What is required to step out of duality? It's much more than you think, than any humans bargain for. Very difficult. Because it requires that you realize that inside of you is the dark. Inside of you is the light. Inside of you, you're out of duality. You're not in duality anymore. All that is with you, within you. You are able to say, wow, I am all that is. I'm not in duality. You're out of judgment. And when you rise from your human body and you go to heaven, you come out of judgment, and that's why you have peace. That's why you have peace at that level. You can still think about and know human existence in fifth dimension. You can still understand it, but you don't judge it in the same way. And you can create without judgment, which means you can create without fear. But when you get higher, when you go into your higher levels of creation, you begin to go into, say, a level of creation that doesn't even have a human expression, a level of tone, pure tone. You're in tone, you're in seventh dimensional. You're creating with vibration and tone that there are no human words for. Moving molecules without having any human consciousness about it. You're in another level, you're still creating of creation. And if you step into your highest creational model, you're in a level of creation that can hold the universes. And what you begin to understand all of a sudden is that you realize that every single one of those swirling galaxies is a cell in the body of God.